It's Niyi Sobo with I'mNotYou.com. I'm getting ready to show you guys the fastest and the easiest way to gain bulletproof confidence and mastery level skill. So stick with me. This is also one of the most important and necessary steps if you want to dominate your sport. All right, so check it. There's gonna be 5 steps. I'm gonna break them down each really clean, smooth, and simple for you, and I'm gonna explain exactly why it's important. All right, I created this system because I would work with a lot of athletes, and their parents, before I trained them, their parents would talk about how good their athletes were and how they wanted to go to the next level and, you know, get a scholarship, play for that team, you know, make the starting spot, etc. And without fail, I would see these kids, and a lot of them, their skills were not at the level that they said they were. A lot of them couldn't even do push-ups, so their basic skill profile was horrible. We're talking about basic things that are necessary for them being great in a sport. Most of them football players, some basketball. I've worked with softball players as well, where their skills are just not at where they should be at based on what they say their goals are. And so I ask them, what is it that you do every day? How much do you practice? And then they start umming and ahhing, right? And so a lot of you say that you want to be great in your sport. You say you want to dominate. And if I ask you what you do every day, you'll hear things like check Instagram, play games on your phone, play video games, watch TV, chill with the homies, etc., whatever it is, but it's not practicing your skills every single day. So if you want to dominate, if you want to break out in your sport, if you really want to be competitive, if you really want to have that bulletproof confidence and know that you got the skill to take over in any game, you've got to be practicing your skills every single day. Not 6 out of 7 days, not 5 out of 7. We're talking about something skill related, something related to your sport every single day of the week, even if it's 10, 15 minutes. And so I'm gonna show you guys a system that's very easy to implement, where you can identify what those core skills are, set up a system for how to attack them on a daily basis, track it, and then upgrade it systematically over weeks and months, all right? So who's your favorite player? Any sport. Let's take right now. The finals is going on. Steph Curry. Steph Curry shoots 1,000 shots a day. That's why his jumper's so wet. That's why he has those dribbles that he has. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. You go to soccer, you got Messi. You go to basketball, you got a football, Drew Brees. I played with Drew Brees. He's practicing his footwork every single day, without fail, every single day. And so if that's what you want to do, if that's the level of skill that you want to reach, if you want to be able to get the results that these type of players get, you've got to be willing to put in the practice and the work every single day. Every day. All right, so the first step is, number one, you got to recognize and understand why habits are absolutely critical to your success. It always starts with why, all right? So you have to understand, 40% of what you do is habit. And our brains do this to conserve energy. So if you did not have habits, you'd have to take a nap like every 30 minutes. You understand? So you have to automate all the things that are necessary for you to dominate your sport. The problem is, a lot of us put on autopilot the things that are bad habits. If your goal is to dominate, if your goal is to have bulletproof confidence and gain the skill level of those you see on TV, all these guys you watch, you've got to automate all the things necessary in order to do that. So that means all the skills that you do in the course of a game, all the skills that are necessary in order for you to succeed, you've got to make those automatic, and you have to create them as habits. That's why habits are so important. I want to talk about the zone. So a lot of guys talk about playing in the zone, right? And zoning out, right? Just wet, hitting a bunch of jumpers, whether it's football. Every time you get the ball, you're gaining positive yardage. A lot of people have misconceptions about that. I want to make this clear. You earn the right to play in the zone. You earn the right to play in the zone. And the way you earn that right is through the practice that you put in every single day. And how much you play in the zone is directly correlated to how intense and how hard you go in practice. All right? So the way you approach your habits, the way you approach your daily disciplines, the way you approach practice determines whether or not you'll ever be able to play in the zone. The way you get in the zone is through preparing day in and day out with a high level intensity. So when it actually comes time to play, you're able to forget all of it and just play. But you can't do that if you don't practice every day, all right? So this is why habits are important. I'm also gonna attach a PDF, your beliefs, some new beliefs that you're gonna have to adopt when it comes to habits. And number 2, now that we've identified why habits are important, now we gotta figure out exactly which habits we need to incorporate, all right? And I'm gonna make it simple. The way we're gonna do this is we're gonna identify our core weaknesses and liabilities. So this part is actually a lot more simple than we like to admit. All right, so I'm gonna simplify it for you and make it real simple. So I want you to go to your coach, your trainer, ask your parents if you like, one of the guys on your team. I want you to ask them this one question. What are the 2 to 3 skills that if I mastered, I got really, really good at, would make me much better in my sport? What are the 2 to 3 skills that if I absolutely owned would make me dominate my sport? What are the skills that I know I'm not good at, but I avoid doing? What skills do I make excuses for not having? You see this a lot with taller guys in basketball. They might not be good at free throw shooting, and you ask them why they're not good, they talk about how big their hands are or how tall they are, right? But that's not an excuse. The excuse is, the real reason you're not good is because you haven't practiced, all right? So this is how you're gonna find your core weaknesses, the things that you're not good at that are preventing you from being able to dominate your sport, and you gotta be able to identify those. And so a lot of people avoid this process because they have weak egos, you know what I mean? But if you wanna be a dominant player, you gotta embrace the fact that there's some things you're not good at, and you gotta either accept that or turn those weaknesses into strengths. And it'd be in your best interest to identify what those things are and work relentlessly at them until they become your strengths. So come up with 4 to 5 skills, 4 to 5 skills that are really easy to commit to that you can do in the comfort of your own home if necessary. All right, 4 to 5 skills, and write those things down. You write them down on the attached sheet that I attached. All right, now it's time to attack. So I want you to set aside a time each day, preferably the same time. This is why I really love the morning. So carve out at least 20 to 30 minutes each day, Monday through Monday, 7 days out of the week. Carve out a time, preferably 20 to 30 minutes, in order for you to attack these specific drills that you all identified. Now here's the key. When you do these drills, it's really important that you attack them with a sense of urgency and intensity, right? So that's the difference. Like, we talk about Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player that ever played. You talk to anybody who's ever played with him, they'll all tell you that the level of intensity that he practiced with was the exact same level of intensity that he played with. And that was on purpose. Michael Jordan understood that in order for him to bring it game in, game out, 82 games during the season, plus all those playoff games, he had to train himself to be in full intensity beast attack mode. And the only way you do that is by practicing, all right? And not just practicing the skills, practicing hard, all right? So attacking it with a sense of urgency and intensity. So pick out a time, 20 to 30 minutes, for you to do these drills, and do them with a sense of urgency, all right? Set your intentions before you do it, and make it so that every single time you do it, it's gonna be all out, full intent. Now it's time to track. So you understand why it's important. You've identified your core weaknesses and liabilities. You're now attacking your daily habits and your daily disciplines with a beast mode like mentality. Number 4 is you gotta track it. So you gotta make sure that you're keeping track, all right? It's really important to do this because, for a lot of reasons. Number 1, when you track your stuff and you mark it off every single day and you see it, the tally's going up and up, and let's say over 4 weeks, you've done 98% of your days. This adds to your confidence. Think of it as money in the bank. Every day you're getting some money, you're putting in the bank. You go to the bank after 2 months and you see all that's accumulated. That's gonna add to your confidence. Not only that, it's building interest because you're getting better at it every single time you're doing it. Not only that, it keeps you accountable. And so a lot of times, you know, a lot of people, I'll say, how often do you lift a week, or how often do you do this skill or that skill? And they sort of throw out a random number. But when you actually track it, it's not as much as you say that it is, all right? So it's just a way of keeping you accountable, and you can even use these sheets to sort of compare with your friends and say, you know, how many days did you get this week? It's a great way to hold yourself accountable. Seeing progress and growth is like miracle growth for confidence. You're gonna get so much confidence when you do these skills every single day, and you're getting better and better at them, right? So let's take something like a push-up. Week 1, you know, you're only able to do, let's say, 10, right? Let's say you're a young athlete, you haven't really done any strength training, you're only able to do 10 push-ups. If you keep doing your push-ups every single day, by week 2, you know, you're able to do 12. By week 3, you're doing 16. And so on and so on, and it just adds to your confidence. And then that way you can start setting new goals and start reaching for new goals. You say, by week 16, I want to be able to do 50. I want to be able to do 60, whatever your number is. But it gives you a way to keep track of it, and it gives you confidence knowing that you're hitting your targets every single day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how to track your new habits and skills. Let's assume that you have a lot of different skills that you want to practice. To make it easier, you can break up your skills in 4 different workouts. So I'm going to show you what I use with my professional athletes and a lot of my high school athletes. So we have some runner's drills here, a pressure circuit, deep stretch, and some sport-specific drills. And you label them workouts 1 through 4. So instead of doing all of these every day, which is very unlikely and might take you 1 to 2 hours, you break them up in smaller workouts. And so let's say you set your week up Monday through Sunday. So on Monday, you have workout number 1, Tuesday, workouts number 1 and 2, and so on and so forth. And you can set these up in whichever way works best. What I'm going to include for you is these exact same sheets except blank. So you can set up your workouts however you like and whichever makes sense for you. For some of you who have just a few skills that you want to work and you don't necessarily need to break them up in 4 workouts, I have a simpler sheet right here that you can use. You simply write in your skills on this sheet and track them from weeks 1 to 4. Very simple. Make sure you put your percentages at the end so that you're keeping score. The very last step, and which is a very important step, is you're going to evaluate and upgrade. It's also a very easy step to forget, all right? Because a lot of times we get so much caught up in what we're doing that we forget to actually see if it's working, see if the work that we're putting off is actually creating the results that we're after, all right? So you want to go to your coaches, all right? And some of you got trainers, you're not on a team, you just got a trainer, or you got friends on the team, etc. Go to them and ask them, yo, are you seeing improvement in these 3 skills or these 4 skills or whatever, however many you picked? Are you seeing improvement? If not, what do you think I can do to get better? So ask your coach honestly. Say, coach, I've been working on my left-hand dribbles. Have you been seeing any improvement? He's like, yeah, I actually can see that. And I also would like you to see you start using your left, and laying it up a little more. And you write that down, all right? And then we go to upgrade. So you don't just evaluate, you see what's working, and then you add to or take from the things that you're doing so as to improve your overall system, right? So let's say in the beginning, you were just doing, 3 sets of 10 push-ups was one of the exercises you're doing. Now maybe you want to add some resistance to those push-ups. Maybe now you want to start doing more sets. Maybe you want to start doing these sets for time. Find a way to upgrade it and constantly look for ways to improve it so as to get you better and get results faster. So go ahead and commit to this system. Go ahead and commit to the target practice system, and I promise you, you're going to see results. Commit to it. Try it for 4 weeks. Pick 4 skills that you need to get better at and work on them every single day. Track them, evaluate them. Send me your results. Hit me up. If you got any questions, make sure you email me. And also, below this video, I'm gonna attach a PDF that's gonna have all of what I said in word form, as well as some sheets you can use to track your progress. So it's gonna be some scorecards that you can hang up on your wall, you can print out, hang up on your wall, keep track of your progress, all right?